What's up, everybody? My name is Josh Rial. I'm sitting next to this guy right here. Went to the set of Justice League.
Yep.
Ooh, so jealous! My God. So you saw a lot of things on your
Yes,
set
I
visit,
did.
and
A
all
lot.
that's going to be on the site. But one thing in particular really got us talking, and that was that this movie is going to be a lot different from what we see in Man of Steel, and especially Batman v Superman, and that's because of what you saw of The Flash. So lay it on me.
Right. Okay. I think the big question, everybody, including the press that was there, but I feel like the consumers and fans too, is what is the tone of Justice League? Is it going to be as dark and dreary and violent as BVS, or sort of as somber and thoughtful as Man of Steel? And the message across the board from everyone we talked to, from the filmmakers to the actors, is that no, this is not BVS. This is a lighter tone, more fun, more the movie that fans, a lot of fans and people said that they wanted, which was a fun, more comic booky movie, humor, but still within the world of that they're building. And the one big reason, the one character that I really feel is making that difference, and from what we saw of a scene being filmed and then a clip that was shown to us, is the Flash. The Flash, in my opinion, if this movie works, the Flash might single-handedly save DC movies.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You know, in the comics, he's no stranger to saving the whole DC universe, so it's kind of works.
Kind of appropriate, right? Well, here's the thing. Ezra Miller is an actor whose work I'm familiar with, but as a serious actor. You know, we need to talk about Kevin. He's fantastic in it, but he plays a sick young killer. You know, not exactly what you think of with the Flash. And with Grant Gustin on TV, a very charming, fun, amiable Flash, you know, it seems odd casting. Well, seeing Ezra Miller in person on set, just goofing around with everybody, he was a very fun, goofy, young guy. And his scene that we saw being filmed, spoilers, but it was a Gotham City rooftop scene with for the Justice League, and Flash was definitely sort of the comic relief in it. And then we saw a clip of Batman recruiting, Bruce Wayne recruiting Barry Allen to join the League.
Wow.
And Ezra Miller he reminded me a lot of what Spider-Man brought to the MCU in Captain America Civil War. Not that they were short on comedy and endearing, lovable characters, but that sort of burst of young, youthful, fun energy amidst these sort of older, kind of more grizzled characters.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, the kid just owned it. There were a lot of hard-bitten folks there, people who weren't nuts about BVS at all, and we all walked away from it being like, if this movie works, and that's still a big question mark, but I have to say, from what I saw on set, it did look like more of a fun movie. If it works, I think it's largely going to be due to Ezra Miller's Flash. I thought he was as charming and amiable as Grant Gustin, who I love as Flash. So that bode well to me. And then just the sequences that we saw themselves had a more fun tone. It seemed like a more, just a more entertaining movie. Will it work? I don't know. I mean, most set visits, things look good, but if, maybe the story won't work, maybe it will be a mess, but if anything, it won't be a dreary mess. It looks like it's actually going to be a fun time in the movie, and a very, very different film from BVS. The cast, Ben Affleck reiterated that. Gal Gadot said that the dynamic between the characters just makes it a more fun movie. And Zack Snyder actually did address this as well. We talked to him at the end of the day, and he said, quote, let me find it here. He said, I mean, not to give anything away about what we're telling or where we're headed with the movie, but death is darker than, say, resurrection or team building. It's just a darker concept, like when you're dealing with the Dark Knight or Death of Superman, those kinds of stories. As opposed to say, oh, let's build a team and fight the bad guys. It's a different energy. And he just sort of added that, Justice League, that the tone is going to be more fun. And his wife, producer Deborah Snyder, said to us, basically, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it's pretty close to what she said, is BVS is as dark as these movies will get.
I
It's
see.
not going to be as dark.
Okay, looks like they got the message from the fans.
Yeah.
I heard you say fun 100 times just there. So it sounds
was.
like that's the message they really wanted you to get. And
Yeah.
I think by showing you the Flash, they wanted you to see that.
And
that
we saw
reminds
all
me
the
a lot.
characters together too, and even Batman had, just the fact that he's this grizzled old loner, and he's now got this kind of young, very energetic, literally energetic, wisecracking kind of foil, brings out a different side of him. He's still Batman, but he's got to deal with all these different personalities and stuff. So it just makes it more fun. Just a different kind of conflict between
That
them.
reminds me of like the Wally West from the Justice League cartoon, because a lot of those characters
Yeah.
were pretty serious, but he was the comedic relief. So it looks like
Yeah.
they're really tapping into that.
Yeah.
So like after the set visit, do you feel like more optimistic about Justice League?
I do. I mean, look, but it's tempered with great deals of caution, because let's face it. I mean, BVS didn't work in a lot of ways. There were things that I liked. Batman, Ben Affleck's Batman was one of them, and he again looks like he's gonna be a great focal point for this movie. But I would say, from what they showed us, from the scene we saw being filmed between them and Commissioner Gordon, J.K. Simmons' first day on set, by the way, and the clip that was showing that dynamic between the first meeting between Bruce Wayne and Barry Allen. It just felt like a completely different movie both times, and more of a movie that I would enjoy watching. And I like dark stuff, but BVS was too dark. It was nihilistic, and basically at this point, Batman has learned, is a different man now in this story. He is, in fact, trying to atone for sort of the brutality and how dark he went in BVS. And he learned a lot from Superman's death. So it's definitely just seems like a much different film, much different energy, and much different tone.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like they listened to everybody, and they're going
Now
for
listen to you, Joshua.
going for
now
the
listen to me. Now listen to you.
Going for the fun. So there it is. Again, we'll have way more on the site from Jim's set visit and the Justice League set visit. And for more on Justice League, Dawn of Fun, keep it here on IGN.